The
left. You
right
can't blame every
stockfire was one
Democrat because
person,
some
and it led to
crazy
the
lunatic
destruction of the
took
Communist
Charlie
Party
Kirk's
in
life.
Germany. You either win or you lay down and you let the other side win.
Yeah, with all due respect, Ed, it was you or your brother that was advocating the assassination of Putin when
No,
Trump was
wait,
there.
wait, wait,
Can you
wait.
imagine what that would
Wait,
lead to our
Putin. Wait,
society
Putin's
being?
rise of the
This is the
government to
rhetoric that
take
I'm
Putin
talking
out. Like,
about
what's that
in
have to
plain
do with
English.
Trump or
In
Republicans?
plain English.
Like, I
It's
mean, like
it,
people advocated for the Soleimani to be taken out, Bin Laden to be
It
taken
doesn't
out.
matter on a U.S. soil. No, and you know what you're doing. This is what I'm saying. You have to
No,
say maybe it's a little.
I mean, to try and say that leftists bear responsibility for what a crazy man did. Do you bear responsibility for Heather
No.
Heyer
Hold on,
being
hold on. I
run
think,
over
hold on,
by
Ed.
a
I think
vehicle?
what
No.
boxing means is that will the liberals, Democratic Party, hold some sort of accountability for the messaging that people hear, like throughout since Donald Trump even began his first presidency term, which is Donald Trump is a Nazi, he's racist, he's Hitler, like those things. And I'm saying
Yes,
whole
that, and I'm
party.
saying that people should hold their responsibility on both sides of the aisle. But from what we have seen is that majority of what this type of rhetoric where it can turn into like literally murdering and assassinating people is probably the language of like, hey, this guy is the devil, he's a Nazi, he's going to take away your children, he wants to kill trans people. Like, I've
Ricky,
heard everything.
well, hold on, Ricky. It's actually bullshit because yes, Richard Spencer, who never caused for the advocate of violence, and I disagree with him on certain issues, has bared the punishment of Heather Heyer since then. Period. Moving on forward, Ed. So that's disingenuous, completely. Yes, he's essentially
Yeah,
owned.
but I'm saying there have been Republicans who have done bad things. That doesn't mean that every Republican is a bad person. Is what I'm saying. And
You don't, but do
put the
you understand
blame
that
of
like
some
using that type of
lunatic.
rhetoric is, and then you have somebody who misinterprets that what you're saying. You don't take any
Everybody who
responsibility on
voted
that.
for Harris is
You have no
responsible.
reflection on
Is that
that.
what you're saying?
But like here's the thing, Ed, right?
Ed, you know what stochastic terrorism is? Everyone on the left talks about stochastic terrorism, and you know that what it means is that everyone on the side that is using the extremist rhetoric is responsible for the necessary terrorism that follows that rhetoric.
What is extremist rhetoric?
That you should assassinate her.
Calling people on the right Nazis and fascists and Hitler and
But
saying that
calling people on the
and
left
grossly
commies?
exaggerating.
Yo,
Ed,
say
shut
that
the
Nazi
fuck up.
thing.
Ed, shut the fuck up, you little faggot.
No,
Let the guy.
And now, just like that, like I have to take control, and I don't like taking control when we're having hopefully constructive conversation. But now I have to go and take over. You're not just gonna go and spew that type of stuff when people are up on stage like that. Gary, good to see you, brother. Any thoughts? Anything you want to say?
Well, tragic day in the world. I think my heart goes out to his family, man. My heart goes out to everyone in America, actually, because this is 10 minutes old. I think this is our 9/11 here. Funny, huh? What is it, the 10th today?
Today's September the
10th. Yeah. So this is going to be our 9/11 here. I think this lights up, pretty much whoever's trying to encage most of humanity. We've blamed every country but ourselves. We refuse to blame, the true enemy here. But it's clearly, this to me is what whoever did this also wanted to do Trump. And this is what they wanted everyone in the world to see. When they did Trump or tried to in that the assassination attempt. Just imagine, okay? Because I think the message is this is an innocent media guy, I think, right? I mean, he doesn't have a political office. He gets assassinated in the most graphic way. If you have not seen it, you might not want to look at it. But I actually implore everyone to go look at it and say, hey, is that what I was meant to see with the Trump deal? When was that, by the way? November? Something like that. So I think this sets America on fire, guys. Sadly, but I think that's what it's intended to do, and maybe that's what needs to happen, because clearly, if you can't tell me who did this, and you can't tell me who did or attempted to do Trump, then we have another enemy that has not been identified or located, and that's really fucking frightening. So
Well, the
I'll end
enemies
with
are
that.
political.
God bless America, dude. Like we need to like all come together, and if there's anything you think is acceptable here, like just unfollow the fuck out of me, please. Okay, just let me know. Please unfollow me.
That's the same. That's the same thing I was saying, Gary. This has gotten to a point where
Pick a side.
yeah, this is taking the temperature to a whole new level. This is right and wrong. That bottom
no,
line.
No, this is next level wrong. Okay? This was. They did this for the world to see, dude. They are sending a message. Does anyone feel really safe right now? Today? Do you feel safer right this second over 30 minutes ago?
That's the purpose of terrorism.
Think about what.
That's why he did it.
Fucking absolutely, dude. It's a 9/11 event. Okay, this is our internal. I just think everyone would do very well looking at this as an event just like 9/11.
I pray that the right doesn't turn out and try to riot over this. I mean, that is a huge.
We never riot. We never have rioted.
hold on.
bro.
I'm just
What I
saying,
was-
though.
what I was-
I'm
hold on,
just
what I was
saying,
trying to
it
say
could
earlier-
happen, bro. We're
what I
out
was
here. You
saying
got Tom
earlier-
McDonald 3 weeks in a row. You know,
Yeah.
Devils are a Democrat, right? A Democrat
That's
lives
good.
in California. You got
Bro,
all
you
this
know,
right.
whoever
Hold
you
on.
call the right, though, okay, we
What
haven't shot any weapons or killed anyone, okay? We actually.
Hey, listen, now I gotta jump in here. It's just patently, listen, political violence, there's political violence on both sides, right? We're forgetting Dylan Roof. You're forgetting Jared Loeffner, who tried to assassinate Gabby Giffords, right? Political violence exists on both sides. And I think we should be intellectually honest if we're going to have conversations about what's going on in our society right now. This is not a new thing. This
Fair
has
enough.
been in our
I don't want
discourse
to put out
forever.
any
Hold on. I agree. Hold on. I agree.
One
But
second,
look,
guys.
like,
It's
no.
been
Hold on. I
cool
was trying to talk
just,
earlier. From
no,
the
no.
rhetoric that
Can
I'm
you just
talking
stop
about,
1 sec arguing? I just want to tell you.
it's like a post from like
Tim
what
Pool
Ed says in the nest.
said Charlie is possibly stable. So 8 minutes ago, I'm not sure if he's. I'll just pin it to the nest.
Yeah, great. So what I was
Thank
putting
you.
to the nest was all the times that Ed called Trump a Nazi, referred to him as a Nazi.
I've never
That's the type
called
of
Trump a
rhetoric.
Nazi. I've said that Trump does things that are similar to the Nazis. What about when the right calls
Yeah, exactly. So that,
Democrats
do you think
communists?
that type of
What
rhetoric
about when the right
helps?
calls
Here's
Marxists
the thing.
Marxists?
Okay,
It's not
and hold
the-
on. I push back
rhetoric
against
is
it.
not-
Hold on.
Does not
When-
cause people to kill people. It's crazy people who get these ideas that somebody is gonna do harm.
But Ed. So here's the thing, right? I push back against when they call them communists, because they're actually not It's to me, it's more of an intellectual, dishonest take on it. Often, I think a lot of these people have terrible views, but to say they're communists and this and that, so I actually push back against it. I take responsibility as someone who's on the right to do that. You, on the other hand, I think heighten the rhetoric with the Nazi stuff. And I don't like that. And I guess what? I'm also Jewish, by the way. So that's also offensive to me when you do that. And I think that you, again, I don't think you understand, because you're still, nobody's saying you caused it. But people are saying is that this type of rhetoric is escalating
All
tensions.
liberals need to apologize for this. No, most liberals are
It's not what I
100% against this, like I am. I think it's despicable what happened, and I hope Charlie Kirk lives. I'm hearing conflicted reports. I mean, he has a family. Like, nobody should ever be for this. And
This is destined to happen.
of the left is
But Ed, the point is that this was inevitable. This is the inevitable conclusion of every day when people don't take it personally. So just to say in general, when people are calling these people Nazis and fascists and this and that, this is the inevitable conclusion, is seeing somebody who, again, is a moderate Republican get killed. This is how this is the end.
Yeah, another big
This is
one
where it gets to.
that they say is that if we don't stop the Republicans, it's the end of democracy. That's been a big talking point from mainstream Democrats for the past year, that it's going to be the end of democracy and you have to defend democracy.
So we're not saying that it's your fault, Ed. We're saying that
isn't responsible
We're
for
saying
murder.
that these people
It
that
is,
are
Ed. It is.
No,
It
we're
is
saying that
responsible.
these,
It
hold
might
on,
be
hold on.
So then,
crowdsourced.
is,
It
then
might
is
be a small
every
sliver of
Republican who kills
responsibility,
every liberal,
but
is
it
Trump
adds up.
Guys,
And
guys,
eventually,
guys, one at a time. One at a time, please, bro. Please.
I was gonna say, it's not, obviously we're not blaming you, Ed. That would be silly. But what I am blaming is every provocateur on each side of the aisle that says dumb things that can promote violence through making these crazy people get even more radicalized that they want to go to violence. That includes, yeah, Republicans too, calling fucking every, Democratic politician a communist and like blah 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 blah. But then it's on the other side where it's like, hey, liberals are calling Trump like literally Hitler. He's the next Hitler. He's going to kill your children. He's going to kill gay people. Like we shouldn't even be monetized on X because that involves people making crazy posts just to get engagement to rage bait people. And so I don't know if you participate in that exactly.
No, I mean, I've never said
people
Trump's
that
going to
do.
kill children, or I never said he's Hitler. I have compared some of his actions to some of the actions we've seen in Nazi Germany. I definitely have done that, but I mean, because it's true. I mean, it doesn't mean
But
that
here's the
he's
thing:
gonna
you don't have to call
Hitler.
him Ed, you don't have to call him Hitler. But if you're comparing the actions, just 10 seconds, this thought exercise, right? If you're comparing the actions, or it's like they're the preliminary actions of a fascist dictator, right? And this is the beginning in 1934. This is what happened to the Nazi Party, and you paint the picture, right? What don't you think that somebody who feels moral and just in their own mind wants to stop Hitler?
Yes, and
You see what I'm saying?
I absolutely do. I think everybody wants to stop Hitler, but I also think a lot of people don't understand what led to Hitler. So, I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but I feel like as though America needs to pay attention to something. It's not like I don't think Trump is Hitler. I absolutely don't think Trump is Hitler. I don't think Trump is going to become Hitler. I don't. And I never say that. I just point to things in America that I see that are very similar to what has happened in other places. That I use Stalin and the Soviet Union sometimes. I mean, I even think
that
Democrats do that.
Do you think some people think that
as
Trump
we were just
is
talking
Hitler?
about a moment ago with Alan,
Or similar to
after one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as a justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
Okay. But this is one thing
I must admit, I'm at a loss to guess as to what happens next.
The rhetoric on both sides has been incredibly inflamed and magnified.
As we were just talking about a moment ago with Alan, after one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as a justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
It's not a left or right issue.
I must admit, I'm at a loss to guess as to what happens next.
Period of time in our political discourse, right? At different times, even in the 60s, right? This political violence, unfortunately, has become something that is a part of the discourse. Left, right, middle, everybody is to blame here. And I think there is a responsibility for folks that have large platforms